For years now, I have been trying to bring music in the visual arts field and bring music in museums and galleries. And that's always a challenge because of the architecture, which is very resonant and not very good for music. From the very beginning, Xavier wanted to recreate something that resembled a Meersbau, Kurt Schwitter's architecture. It was destroyed during the Second World War, so only photographs remain, but we can imagine how the sound in that Meersbau must have been soft and non-resonating. There's two different rooms, one with a more resonant space and another one with a more muffled sound. So here we're in this kind of perfect recording with a great sound equipment, and the artists are invited to come and work. Here they're performing for themselves and for the recording. So you're witnessing music in the making, and that was the idea of Xavier, you know, to make that public. That's part of the project, is to make this creative process visible to a general audience. Being a curator is interesting. It's just being on the other side. I tend to work as a curator in my own work because I'm always collaging, taking things from different parts and putting them together. In music, by DJing, mixing records from different sources, with my visual collages or with my videos, I'm curating. So I don't feel so uncomfortable with that. This was an interesting project, and I helped Xavier find, you know, musicians that he would not know or not necessarily be interested in, and I try to bring a lot of my usual collaborators, people who I improvise with, the more experimental improvising musicians. Here it's more of a collage of people. It's a social experiment in a way. This week it's a press opening. There's so many people in Venice coming, and so the studio is full of people, and it's a bit difficult for the musicians. But you know, next week it's going to be much slower, and I think people will spend time here and to see how things work. And frankly, we don't know what's going to happen here, and that's the exciting part. It's not like a pavilion where you bring in a finished object and that's it, it's a statement. This is more of an experiment. Well, it's interesting that you bring up the clock, which was presented here, because there's some kind of similarities between the two works because of the audience. The audience is participating, and they're participating through you know, witnessing and maybe even influencing the results. With the clock, you are constantly aware of what time it is. It is about the present. It's about the experience. Even though the work is finished, every day is a different day for you, the viewer. It's a very different experience, again, as here you're not going to a concert. You don't know who's going to play. It's not about a beginning. It starts at 8 for an hour or 2 hours and then you leave. No, this is about the moment, experiencing something that's happening right now.